And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See & Spray to target weeds in season, in corn and soybeans, and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at the Spring Mega Sale. We're taking our better than internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, April 24th through Saturday, April 29th, the Spring Mega Sale is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
The best to learn about South Community College is, and you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour, an opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
They say that April showers bring May flowers, but May delivers a lot more than that at GE Landscape Supply. Stop by for the Spring Landscape Days sale with almost everything on sale. Get 15% off of mulch, 10% off decorative rock, 20% off of flagstone, 25% off of decorative cobblestone, 15% off of stone edging, and 10% off soils. Save up to 25% rain or shine from May 1st through the 6th at GE Landscape Supply for the Spring Landscape Days sale. Open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% in this ad and 402-488-8934 HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies. It will still be a little windy, though, today, as north winds could gust over 30. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of around 63. Clear skies tonight, a little cool with a low down to around 35. Not quite as windy tomorrow, sunny and a little warmer. We should see a high of around 66. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome, everybody, to On the Block. Strick and Austin Orman here. It's a new week. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity just to say thank you. And we thank you to each and every one of you that continually chime in and listen in, as well as join us on the Sutter Heyman text line or on the Honda Lincoln hotline at 402-464-5685. It is a Monday. It is another Monday in which we have to look towards the transfer portal and look at sports as the playoffs are in full swing, as well as we have some transfer news that's going on with the Husker football team once again. This is going to be a little shorter segment, so I want to get right into that. But first, I want to thank my sponsors, our sponsors here for the block, Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. We're appreciative of them and their continued great service that they provide to the Lincoln community there at Pine Lake and 27th and Pine Lake. Let's just say it the other way. So, Austin Orman, how are you doing today, my friend?
Strick, I am doing great. Sun's shining, a little on the windy side, but a busy weekend in Husker land and professional sports landscape as well. Excited to get into it. How are you doing? How's your weekend been?
What weekend was tremendous. Avoided, the thing about being in Dallas, and I'll be back tonight. My flight leaves this evening, but the best thing about being here is it's kind of crazy. It's not a best thing. It's so freaking big, Austin, that a storm that could be like dropping it like it's hot in different areas or down, just kind of downtown to down south. It's so much space between those locations that literally people were like, man, we're getting hail, we're getting this, we're in the same city. But where we were, we didn't get any rain, just some drizzles and some drops. So that's the crazy thing about, how big Dallas is as far as spread out. But the weather was beautiful. It was great. Great time seeing friends, catching up. Great business meeting there with Cerebral Sports as well. I got to attend with the CEO and representative for Tracy McGrady. And things were popping for the weekend, man. Got off to a good start and had a wonderful end to it.
Love to hear it.
Yes. Huh? So what?
I was just saying, excited to have you back, but glad the meetings and such went well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get right into this, man. So we got short time. Let's talk about the AJ Allen transfer. Jumps into the transfer portal. This is part of the Frost regime. It was a guy that had great promise. He looked like he had great upside until he got injured, and now kind of finds himself. That's the one thing that happens with new coaching staffs and new programs and directors or new ADs or whatever the case may be. When they come in, it's like sometimes the eyes and the way that they view and they see things change. And right now, it looks like somebody got an awakening. Gabe Irvin, and it finds that AJ Allen, a tremendous talent, is in the transfer portal now.
It's unfortunate because when you look at that running back room, it looks like a pretty solid, pretty deep room. When you mentioned the top four guys, until AJ Allen left was Allen. It was Anthony Grant, the leading rusher, Gabe Irvin, who struggled a little bit coming off his injury, but didn't see the field nearly as much as most people would have thought. And then Ramir Johnson, who's been in the conversation for each of the last 3 years. Strick, if I look at that top four, AJ Allen was probably the one with the most potential, at least as I look at it. I know he's coming off an injury, but Anthony Grant, maybe he can take a half step forward, get better at, seeking out contact, running through it, taking what's available instead of trying to make everything a home run play. But he pretty much is what he is. Gabe Irvin is an unknown. Again, didn't really play last season coming off an injury. Still probably one of the more talented guys. We've heard the way the coaching staff, has talked about him, being one of the workout warriors. He's looked explosive. They really seem to like him. But again, coming off an injury, what's he going to be like? Ramir Johnson, how much room does he have to improve? He led the way in rushing a few years ago. Certainly a useful piece, but I think Nebraska can do better for an every down back. That left you with AJ Allen, who, only played 4 games at 190 rushing yards in those games. He was in a very similar spot, I think, to what Gabe Irvin was. Coming in as a freshman, ready to contribute right away. Coaching staff loved him. In a perfect scenario, Strick, AJ Allen's the starting running back for Nebraska this year because of his youth, because you don't know exactly what his ceiling is, and because I think he gives you that best mix of between the tackles power and, home run ability with the speed on the outside. Anthony Grant, we know, can be, a workhorse, a dependable guy. Gabe Irvin was looking like that before he went down, but I think Nebraska lost the highest ceiling running back in that room over the weekend, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, very much so. It is, and we're just hoping that wherever he may land, and still, I wish well for these young men. I mean, the decisions that they have to make, and sometimes they probably make them without really processing the thought of the decision. Sometimes they just make it out of, pain or feeling hurt or feeling like they're shunned or whatever the case may be, or not a good relationship with the staff. But for me, we still wish them well. They spent time in the Husker uniform, and they represented the time that they did spend there. So we're grateful for that. Let's take a look right now. The draft is just completed. To me, the draft was not crazy for the most part. It was no nonsense. You kind of had an idea. I think probably the craziest thing that happened in the draft was the Will Levis situation, that found himself in the green room, and didn't get drafted, and just how hard that would feel for someone to kind of go through that whole process. But of the Huskers that were drafted, which one do you feel landed at the right or the best spot for them?
Well, luckily, there's only two to talk about in terms of drafts, so that'll keep this conversation a little shorter. And Trey Palmer and O'Shawn Mathis, I think it has to be Trey Palmer. Later than a lot of people were expecting him to go. They thought he could have been a late day 2 pick, if not an early day 3, but he has to wait. He's the second Husker with his name called, taking a couple picks after O'Shawn Mathis. But in terms of getting on the field right away and carving out a role, I think Tampa Bay's a good spot for him. I know they lose Tom Brady. It looks like Baker Mayfield's going to be the starter in Tampa Bay. I don't love that for Trey Palmer, but their wide receiving depth, Strick, isn't great. Mike Evans is there. He's still the number one, still really good. Yeah. He's been banged up here and there.
Yeah, he's been topsy-turvy with his performance too, but he's very, very well capable. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Chris Godwin is there. Again, another guy a little up and down, a solid number 2. But then you're looking at Russell Gage is the number 3. I think Trey Palmer's a better deep ball threat. I think that's an element that Tampa Bay, under Bruce Arians, really like to do. I think they got away from it a little bit last season, maybe due to Brady, maybe due to the receiving core. But I think Trey Palmer, provides that downfield element that Tampa Bay can really use. When I look at the undrafted free agents too, I love Travis Vokolek going to Baltimore. He doesn't have to be a star right away, but I think that's a culture of work that's good for him. I think he can, fill a role on special teams. He can learn behind Mark Andrews, learn to play with Lamar Jackson. I'm not shocked he didn't get drafted, given that his college, production wasn't always very high because he was banged up here and there, or behind Austin Allen for a year as well, and with the injury bug. So I'm not surprised he didn't get drafted, but fingers crossed Travis Vokolek stays healthy, because if he does, I think the Ravens got a steal, not even having to use a draft pick on him.
Yeah, and so we've kind of talked a little bit about some of the projections in the draft. We saw some of the moves that happened, what Houston did in order to make leaps and bounds in order to get Will Anderson as well as CJ Stroud. But let's just real quick before we go to break, let's talk about the quarterback situation. Out of all the quarterbacks, how did you rank them first? And then out of the quarterbacks, who do you think probably landed in the best spot for them to have early success if needed, wherever they may be?
I ranked them in the order they went, or very close to it. I think there was a tier up here of Young and Stroud, just depending on what kind of flavor you're going for. Richardson, a tier below them. Levis in a tier of his own down there as well. So the order that they were taken didn't surprise me necessarily. I'm a little surprised Will Levis didn't, get taken in the first round. I think a lot of people were. But I feel like if you listen to what the NFL was saying about Will Levis, all those teams had the same concerns about him. So the Titans get him there early on day 2. I don't hate that landing spot for him. I mostly love it because it wasn't Indianapolis. In terms of early success, I really think it's Bryce Young, the number 1 overall pick. Carolina has a good offensive line. They have, a couple receivers around there to surround him with. They have a quarterback-minded head coach in Frank Reich that's worked with quarterbacks before. I think Bryce Young and the Panthers could be sneaky good this year. CJ Stroud, I think, needs more weapons. Anthony Richardson, I think, needs more seasoning. And Will Levis won't see the field. So it might seem like the cop-out answer in Bryce Young, but I also think it's the right one.
What was the hindrance for Hendon Hooker?
I would say it's twofold. Number 1 is his injury, and number 2 is age. Yes. Okay. Because I think if you look at, he's 25, going to be 26. He's got to be ready to step in. And his college production was pretty good. But the other, if there is a third knock, it's Tennessee's system hasn't always translated to the pros as well. So I think there's some wait and see on him for those three reasons. He's got the arm, he's got the accuracy, he's got some mobility. If he would have put it together 2-3 years earlier, that's a surefire first round pick. But because it took Josh Heupel to get it out of him and the system he played in, I think that's what led to him sliding. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Hendon Hooker carve out, a 7-8 year NFL career.
Yeah, I could definitely see him as a backup and a stand-in type of guy. Give me a quick comparison of who maybe you think. I'm going to throw out a couple to you, and then maybe you can kind of add on to that. Sutter Heyman text line if you want to add on to it as well. 402-464-5685. Listen, here's my thought. I think a great comparison could probably be like Geno Smith to me, possibly. Maybe the curve of his arc of his career is similar. I can kind of see it going like that. I'm definitely not going to say Warren Moon because I don't think he has a bigger arm than Warren Moon. There's no bigger arm than that man Warren Moon, and one of the best to do it. Maybe Doug Williams.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
What about Teddy Bridgewater with a little more arm strength?
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I like that with the arm strength because Teddy, just didn't really come through for. I just don't want him to be a Jamarcus Russell.
Please no.
That's all.
Please no. Nobody wants another Jamarcus Russell. I mean, it's too bad because that's a guy that lit the world on fire at LSU in that 2007 season, and then for whatever reason, I'm going to blame at that time Oakland for not surrounding him with the support that he needed, because again, all the physical tools were there until they weren't properly cultivated.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's the end of this conversation right now. We were able to get through it. I mean, we kind of whipped through it, like the song, Whip It Good. We whipped through that one real good. But we'll be right back. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back to talk about the NBA, the conference semis, kind of how that's going, and just have a couple questions in that space. But your boy Steph Curry went bonkers and sent Sacramento home with tears in their eyes because of the fact that they're gone fishing. But we'll talk about that next on the other side of the break. 93.7 The Ticket. We are on the block.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See & Spray to target weeds in season, in corn and soybeans, and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at the Spring Mega Sale. We're taking our better than internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, April 24th through Saturday, April 29th, the Spring Mega Sale is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Dive into good times and great savings when you take advantage of the above-ground swimming pool sale happening now at Bonzal Pool and Spa. All in-stock swimming pools are 50% off through the end of May while supplies last. You don't want to miss out on this hot deal. Visit our showroom at 33rd and Pioneers today. Learn more about the promotion at bonzalpool.com. Bonzal Pool and Spa, every day made better.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. For 75 years, Cedars has been a refuge for children in need, providing kids with safety, stability, and enduring family relationships. Learn more about the organization and how to be part of it every Thursday night from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Cedars Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
As Strick said, we're talking NBA playoffs this segment here on the block. Guy that knows a thing or two about the NBA. That's why we're lucky to have him around here. Strick, let's start out west with the game you just mentioned at the end of last segment. Steph Curry goes nuts. 50 points on 38 shots. I'd say sends the Kings home sad, except they were already at home. That, to me, is the craziest part of that series. The Warriors found a way to win 2 games on the road. But again, it's the championship resolve, I think, that really showed itself in those last 2 games for the Warriors.
Yeah, listen, the Warriors came through in a big way. But here, this goes to show you the difference between a team that has been there before and a team that is trying to find their way. The Sacramento team is still at a point where they're trying to understand not only roles. You still kind of had a partially injured injury to DeAndre. I mean, gosh darn it, my mind is drawing a blank real quick. Fox. You had De'Aaron Fox. Gosh dang it. So you had a quick blank on that from De'Aaron Fox. But other than that, you had a way in order to figure out whether this team had the moxie, they had the makeup to be able to finish off a game 7 series. So they weren't able to get it done. 50 points by way of Steph Curry just ended the hopes of the Sacramento Kings. But that's what they do. I mean, that's what they were built for. They're a championship makeup. And you got to feel bad for him. I mean, finally, you had a really pretty solid game out of Sabonis. De'Aaron Fox was okay, not himself, but they didn't get the same type of work from Monk and some of the other guys that they had gotten before, which kind of shown the little tightness and coming down to a series.
Is this it for Sacramento? Are they a flash in the pan, or do you think they have some staying power with Mike Brown?
No, I think they're okay. I think they'll be fine. It's not going to be an issue. It's not going to be a problem. I just think that they maybe have to add a couple of pieces to make them just be right. They got to figure out what they're going to do, long term, with Monk, and who's going to be that core group that's going to help to lead them into the future. I think the lesson that they learned out of this is going to be tremendous going forward, and for the future of the Sacramento Kings organization. Somebody behind Sabonis that maybe would give them a little bit more. That I just think that Draymond and those group, even with Klay Thompson playing bad, I mean that's just an amazing thing that he was able to accomplish. 20 for 38. I mean, they were finding him. 20 for 38, 7 for 18 from three. That's crazy. Didn't even shoot too many free throws. But then he goes out and gets you 8 rebounds and 6 assists on top of that with only 1 turnover. And this team is very capable of turning the ball over, but they only turned it over 7 times, which really helped them to just go ahead and blow the doors open in this game as well.
So they're playing the Lakers in one half of the Western Conference semifinals. As you look at that series, what's the biggest question for you in that series between the Lakers and the Warriors?
Just matchups, just how they're going to play it. I mean, I would say the biggest key component in that one's going to be how they match up with Anthony Davis, what type of scheme that they throw at him. They really don't have an answer for him. I think they're going to throw multiple people at LeBron James. They're going to throw some physicality at him with Green. They're going to throw some quick and more fleet of feet, maybe a little bit longer with Wiggins. They'll probably throw Kuminga at him, maybe if he's able to get some time. I don't think they'll throw Gary Payton at him, but they've got they actually got guys that come off the bench and play great defense in Gary Payton II and Dante DiVincenzo. So they've got a makeup that can really throw some things at the Lakers. But here's the thing that's going to be part of the difference as well. They're going to have to play some defense, the Lakers, meaning that they're not going to just be able to kind of get comfortable around. LeBron's not going to be able to just stand around and meander, and Anthony's not going to be able to be. They're going to have to run. I'm talking about at every set. Offensively, there's not a time that they're not going to be able to run. So are they going to have enough legs being, their best guys are super veterans?
That's my biggest question for the series is who runs out of gas first. Yeah. This streak to me, we go from Warriors and Kings that was turbocharged up and down. That's how the Kings like to play, to I think a series that's going to be slowed down for that exact reason, because Anthony Davis is injured prone, because LeBron James is in year 20 in the league, because Steph is playing more playoff minutes than ever. I think this is going to be a slower series that's focused more on execution, less so or more so than, running. Sure, transition has to play a part, but I think this is a series that slows down. The other Western Conference semi, already a game in, Denver leading Phoenix 1-0. What are your takeaways from that first game?
Well, what I liked is what I saw in the old in the bubble. Remember when they played in the bubble?
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Murray went nuts in the bubble.
Yep.
Like he literally he was stone cold. He was an assassin in the bubble. He came back, and now he's that kind of player once again. 34 points, great stuff for him. And I'm sorry for the noise. Go ahead and fill in right here because I think I got to take it. It's from the hotel.
Yeah, so the Nuggets take game 1 over the Suns. Again, this is an entertaining series when you look at the star power that's in it. You look at Nikola Jokic really leading the way for Denver. Jamal Murray has his big night, and that's what Strick and I talked about last week, was what's the answer that the Nuggets have for Devin Booker? Devin Booker went off towards the end of that series against the Clippers, didn't really have anyone to consistently throw at them, and that's where Strick and I ended up with this Nuggets and Suns series, is that the way to stop Jamal Murray isn't to stop him, it's to stop Booker. You don't stop Devin Booker. You counterbalance him with Jamal Murray returning back to who Jamal Murray was in the bubble, because you're not going to slow Devin Booker down. He's on a roll. He's still cooking, but that's why Jamal Murray becomes that much more important. the X factor to me in that series, Strick, is Michael Porter Jr. What does he give the Nuggets?
Yeah, but see, and this is what's been crazy about this team. One, I think the revamping of Aaron Gordon's career to me, he just plays a great role for them. I mean, this whole team, pretty much everybody that touched the court in this game was in the plus category. Aaron Gordon was plus 25. Michael Porter Jr. was plus 29. Jokic plus 19. Murray plus 13. Caldwell Purse plus 10. And plus 21 for Bruce Brown. Now, let's be, that's crazy. That's crazy level production. That's great efficiency. That's getting it done in a way at home, setting the tone and letting it be known that this is going to be a long series for you. They shot the ball extremely well, almost 50% from 2 and 43% from 3. On the other hand, they didn't do as well. So my thing is, I like the matchup. I still like the potential of how things can go. Durant and Booker's doing what Durant and Booker's do. But the problem is they gave up a lot of their depth. They don't have a lot of their depth in the acquisition. So who's going to come off and fill in the voids? They ain't got that. So those guys are logging big minutes. And you talk about running out of gas. This team, Denver Nuggets, like to get out and altitude. Yes, that's another key component.
Who's the best player in that series? Is it KD? Is it Jokic?
I mean, it just depends on kind of what you're looking at, right? If you're just looking at somebody scoring and being able to get you buckets when you need to get a bucket, is very efficient. They're both that. But I just like all of the things that Jokic can do, right? Durant, in all his scoring prowess, he only goes to the free throw line 4 times. You see what I'm saying? That's it. Now, listen, Jokic, on the other hand, only went 5. I'm not saying that that's the key. I'm just saying that Jokic does crazy more things that some of the other guys can do. Now, what's been effective for them is Jamal Murray has been handling the ball a lot more, which that usually was Jokic's place. So they didn't score as well tonight, but good gosh, he almost had 20 rebounds. He almost went for 20-20, 24 and 20, and only 5 assists. But that type of play for them is going to be okay, especially with Aaron Gordon stepping up the way that he did. Rebounding and running and getting easy opportunities. That's the way that they're going to play this game.
Let's flip out east. The series with the game in the books already is the Heat and the Knicks. What are you watching for in that series?
Oh, man, that's, the crazy thing about that game, man, is this. Jimmy Buckets goes nuts once again. He's just been doing what he do. And I love it that I didn't think it could be sustainable. I didn't think he could continue on the way that he's continued playing at the level that he's playing. I just didn't think it was possible. But they actually go in and steal game 1. Now, the part that's going to hurt them was the injury. That injury where you kind of roll that ankle like that. Sometimes the doctors always told me, because I had a 2nd-degree ankle sprain as well, they tell you that it's better to break it than it is to strain those tendons.
Really?
It's so much more, it's so much harder to recover tendons than it is to recover bone. So the stretching of those tendons, it's going to be tender, it's going to be hard, but the technology is a little bit better than it was back then. But it's still going to be hard. And that's why he went into a role of just basically playing the part of, I'm the dummy guy. I'm here, but I can't really do nothing. And it was good to see guys like Kyle Lowry step up for them and handle business. Is that sustainable for Kyle Lowry? I don't know. I've seen a lot of inconsistencies in him this year, but he filled in enough to get the job done. But guess what? Brunson, let's see, Brunson and RJ's been struggling to me. I mean,
it's
he's
been
really
tough.
been struggling. But no, gosh.
Randall.
Randall.
Just name
that whole situation with Randall is going to make it tough. That's going to make it tough for, I think, Jimmy being hurt, but I think Randall being down for the count. That's a big miss for them. I think RJ's been good in this game, but he's been so inconsistent, and I just don't know if he can give me a consistent run of games like that. I just don't see it.
He hasn't done it yet. I hope he does, as a guy that I should have coached at one point, but I hope he gets that figured out. I also was a little confused by the Knicks running away from a hobbled Jimmy Butler, right? Like, make him put pressure on it, make him change direction, but instead they put Jimmy in pick and rolls and let the Heat switch off of it. That seems like, I know he's Jimmy Butler and he has the reputation of being a dog on defense, but if he's on a bum wheel, you go at him.
Listen, I say this all the time. This is the difference I feel in the IQ. Like, people say, yes, guys have great talent, but here's the thing that I always say, Austin. It should never take you 6 dribbles to get to one place. Like, in our day, you may think it's simple or we didn't have the same skill set, but I would venture to say that we probably had a higher skill set. The reason being is, if I wanted to catch the ball on the block, I'm catching it on the block. I see Kevin Durant get halfway pushed out to the 3-point line. I see LeBron too. Wherever I wanted the ball, I'm catching it right there. Gary Payton, all those guys, MJ, Tim Duncan. You can go down the list. Dirk. You can go down the list. Dirk sometimes got pushed out too. I got to defer that. But I'm saying to say is, the IQ, whenever we saw that, it's immediate back out. Okay, I'm either going to give him this work, or I'm going to go down and we're going to post this up, or we're going to do something else with a different type of pick and roll to make sure we get the matchup that we want. It's got to stay in Jimmy Butler's hands. I mean, as far as defense, you got to make him work. And you're right. They went away from it. I think that's just bad IQ stuff, man.
The last series,
but they'll address it. They'll address it, though. They'll watch the film. They'll address it. And I'm sure that they won't let it happen this next game. That's the thing about playoffs is, they will make adjustments.
Absolutely. The last series we get to talk about really quickly is the one that starts tonight. You have Philly and Boston. The question for me, Strick, is how many games does it take Boston? Do you give Philly a chance?
Oh, jeez. I do. I mean, Philly's got enough weapons. They've got a fighting chance. They're going to have to steal one, I think. I still think that Joel Embiid for them is a problem, but they're so scrappy that they're able to kind of just throw him off a little bit. It kind of takes him sometimes out of his game. If Joel Embiid is dominant in this series, I think they've got a flying chance. If Harden continues to just run and direct and handle business, and you get that third wheel in Tyrese Maxey that kind of steps up, either one of them, Harris or Maxey, they can be a problem for the Boston Celtics. But they're very good on defense. They're going to come right back at you. I just think the key to unlocking that door is going to be with Embiid.
Absolutely. That's the analysis of the series. Let's give our picks real quick. Start with that series. Boston or Philly, who you taking?
I'm going Philly in 6. I'm sorry, Boston in 6.
Boston in 6. Okay. Heat, Knicks.
With the injury situation, I'm going to go, if no Randall shows up, I'm going Heat in 7.
Suns, Nuggets.
Nuggets in 7.
And finally, Lakers, Warriors.
I think it might be tricky. There might be something in the Kool-Aid for that Phoenix series. There might be a little hokey pokey, turn yourself around type of stuff going on in that series. We're gonna keep our eyes on that one. Just know that I said it right here. We're gonna keep our eyes on, whether or not you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's
all about.
Yeah, keep your eye on that one. Go ahead.
Lakers, Warriors, last series pick.
I'm going Warriors. I'm going to go Warriors in 5.
Ooh, Dubs in 5. There you go. There's Strick's picks for the NBA Conference Finals. stay tuned. We'll be monitoring that action throughout the next couple weeks. Right now, though, we step aside. We got time to play the shootout with Strick. Call now 402-464-5685. $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings on the line for you. All you got to do is take down Strick in trivia. 4 questions for you, 4 for him. We'll play the game on the other side.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunny skies. It will still be a little windy, though, today, as north winds could gust over 30. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of around 63. Clear skies tonight, a little cool with a low down to around 35. Not quite as windy tomorrow, sunny and a little warmer. We should see a high of around 66. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Dive into good times and great savings when you take advantage of the above-ground swimming pool sale happening now at Bonzall Pool & Spa. All in-stock swimming pools are 50% off through the end of May while supplies last. You don't want to miss out on this hot deal. Visit our showroom at 33rd and Pioneers today. Learn more about the promotion at bonzallpool.com. Bonzall Pool & Spa, every day made better.
They say that April showers bring May flowers, but May delivers a lot more than that at GE Landscape Supply. Stop by for the Spring Landscape Days sale with almost everything on sale. Get 15% off of mulch, 10% off decorative rock, 20% off of flagstone, 25% off of decorative cobblestone, 15% off of stone edging, and 10% off soils. Save up to 25% rain or shine from May 1st through the 6th at GE Landscape Supply for the Spring Landscape Days sale. Open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
Well, let's do it, but we need a caller. 402-464-5685. We need a sacrificial lamb. Strick needs to get back in the win column. That's really what we need right now. So if you want to make Strick feel good, want to provide a boost heading into hour 2, and maybe get $15 for your time and effort, call now. 402-464-5685. I'm not wrong that you need a win, Strick. You're due.
I am overdue. I'm so overdue that you know how have you ever seen Charles Barkley's golf swing?
I have. It is not pretty.
It is not the prettiest. That's how I feel about these L's that I've been taking last week. I feel like Charles Barkley's golf swing has invaded my brain space and not being able to so I'm hoping to get off the snide today. I don't know. I kind of losing my voice a little bit. I think I've been doing a little bit too much yelling.
We didn't ask when you were out at your golf event. How are you feeling about your swing?
Actually, I hit the ball pretty good. The only difference about the way that it all went down, it was great people out there. I mean, I got to chop it up with David Justice and Joe Torre, some actors and guys that played in like movies that I'd seen as a kid growing up, like in Colors, OG Bobby Johnson. Guys like that, man, it was cool. David, Kenny Lofton, guys that were left-handed hitters like them, I used to look up to as a young man. And we played golf, but the problem was it was freaking 7 hours. I mean, 20-minute delays and waits. Austin, come on, my boy. No.
That ain't it. That gets a guy rusty. It's supposed to be in a rhythm, in a routine, but that ain't it. What is it? Is we get to play the shootout. We have Chris on the line here. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID real quick, and then we'll get into the shootout with Strick.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, to the Honda of Lincoln hotline we go, and we say hello to Chris. Chris, you with us here?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Hold on the line here. We'll get you your questions in just a sec, but we go to Strick first. Strick, here we go to get you off the schneid. Let's do it here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the first Asian American to manage a World Series champion. Dave Roberts or Don Wakamatsu?
Roberts.
Yep. He was the first Polynesian player to win the Heisman Trophy. Marcus Mariota or Tua Tagovailoa?
Tua Tagovailoa.
It was Mariota. He was a Super Bowl MVP for the Steelers. Hines Ward or Troy Polamalu?
Troy Polamalu.
It was Hines Ward, and she's the Miami Marlins general manager.
Freak, I did not know her name. I know she got hired. I can't even. God dang it. And Polamalu, he's Samoan, right? Or something. He's not even, right? What is he?
Well, he claims that is his heritage, but Hines Ward was the one that won it. Hines Ward, similar story. So that's what it is. Kim Ng is the answer for the Marlins. I tried to throw you one up your alley, Strick. I tried.
I couldn't remember her name. I remember she got the job. I just could not remember her name. God.
All right,
not
Chris.
A good start.
2 to tie, 3 or more to win. Are you ready for your round of the shootout?
Yeah, I'm here to help Strick out. So,
all right, your round begins here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the first Asian American to win an NBA championship. Yao Ming or Jeremy Lin?
Ming.
It was Lin. He was the first Polynesian player inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame. Teddy Bruschi or Junior Seau?
Yeah.
Yep. This athlete owns the most Winter Olympics medals of any American. Apollo Ono or Chloe Kim?
Yep.
Nope, it was Ono, and he's the first Indian owner of an NBA franchise.
10. Light feather. I don't know.
A good guess. That is not the answer. Vivek Ranadive of the Sacramento Kings, the first Indian owner of an NBA franchise. Chris, thanks for playing today. Hang up now. You can still be caller number 3 and get the $15 of Buffalo Wings and Rings. But Stricky's on the board. He did it. Well done,
I'm back
Strick.
in the game, baby. I'm back in the game. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was dead in the water on that one. I really did. I thought I was dead in the water.
You knew Vivek, though, I assume.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Rico's ready for the tiebreaker. We're going to do this.
His turn today.
Yeah, Rico guesses first. Strick goes over under. Okay. Younghoe Koo, kicker for the Falcons. He led the NFL in made field goals in 2020. How many did he make that season?
How many did he make? I'm going to go with 62.
Here, Jake in the background. All right, Strick, over under 62.
Down yonder.
37. It was a 16-game season at that point, Rico. We did not make almost 4 field goals a game.
62 sounds about right. That's how many my kickers make in Madden.
Oh my. Well, Strick, I think that's 2 wins in one day, right?
Yeah. Tell Rico we started over. It's a new record. I'm 1-0. Tell Rico.
7-1. You're 1-0 on the week. Your overall record, you're 7-7. So you're back to 500.
But you're getting
off the line.
Winning streak. We're starting a winning streak, Strick. That's what we're here to do.
You're 7-1 against me. Well,
I'll see you tomorrow in studio. Tomorrow.
He walked away. He's scared. We got to take a break. Hour 2 on the block comes your way. Next, what are we talking? We are talking a little bit more about the NFL draft, also some NBA draft. What does it mean for Nebraska football and Nebraska men's basketball to have draft-eligible players? Do they need them to compete in the Big Ten? We'll dive into a little bit and then talk some Husker football recruiting with Brian Munson of Husker Online. All that and more, Hour 2 on the block next.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
They say that April showers bring May flowers, but May delivers a lot more than that at GE Landscape Supply. Stop by for the Spring Landscape Days sale with almost everything on sale. Get 15% off of mulch, 10% off decorative rock, 20% off of flagstone, 25% off of decorative cobblestone, 15% off of stone edging, and 10% off soils. Save up to 25% rain or shine from May 1st through the 6th at GE Landscape Supply for the Spring Landscape Days sale. Open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Sunny skies. It will still be a little windy, though, today, as north winds could gust over 30. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of around 63. Clear skies tonight, a little cool with a low down to around 35. Not quite as windy tomorrow, sunny and a little warmer. We should see a high of around 66. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
The best time to have your air conditioner serviced is before you really need it. Call Bryant now and schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. You'll stay cool and comfortable when you need it most. Just call 467-1111 to schedule your air conditioning check. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Yay. Once again, we're back here on the block. Thank you all again for joining us on the block as well. On Allo 951, we appreciate all of those listeners and the YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter streams where you guys can always chime in and add your input, as well as calling in to the Honda of Lincoln hotline or the Sauter-Heyman text line via text. You can do so there as well at 402-464-5685. We're in the second hour of On the Block today, and we are going to kind of jump into just an open discussion. And the discussion involves Nebraska, as my great partner, I'm not representing today. He is definitely doing so, representing Nebraska very well. And that's kind of what we're going to delve into. We're going to talk about representation. Nebraska for a long time has been built on the brand, the N, the brand, the red, big red, GBR, all of that. And now we found ourselves at some slow points in our over the years of whether or not guys have come in. The talent level has been down a little bit. Yes, we've had our Prince of Mukamaras, we've had our Dominican Sues, we've had great talent that have come in and have represented Nebraska well and the brand. But things have changed. You have now transfer portal. You have now NIL. You have a lot of things that are just not about the brand, not about tradition, not about facilities, because teams have measured up and caught up in those departments. When we talk about this team right now, we're just going to speak about where they're at right now before any other people jump into the transfer portal. Austin, do you see, or you listeners, do you see on this team anybody that can be a first-round draft pick that's representing Nebraska football?
Right now,
not this draft, but obviously that's past, but I'm saying to come.
Mm-hmm. Right now, I don't think there is. I really don't. I think there are guys who are draftable, but I don't think there's anyone that's going to show up on any, way too early big boards from any of the experts out there. I do think there are some options, though. Again, maybe not for next year's draft. Well, in maybe some cases it would be. But I'm thinking, 2, 3, maybe 4 years down the line, there are a small handful of guys I think could play themselves into that conversation. The one that, has the decision to make the soonest will be Ben Scott. He's the transfer center they just got from Arizona State. All Pac-12 a couple times. Grown man, big body, good mobility. Playing in an offensive line-based league like the Big Ten, if Nebraska has even just a little bit more success, I think it's going to do wonders for Ben Scott's stock. He comes in, actually as a center, higher rated, than Cam Jurgens was, and Cam Jurgens was a second-round draft pick. So I think a good year from Ben Scott has him at least in the conversation. I don't know if he would go that high, but I think Ben Scott probably has the best shot of anybody on the roster to be a first-round pick right now.
Okay.
Then we get to a few wild cards. I'll start, let me think. I'll start on the defensive side of the ball and work my way back to the offense. Elijah Judy transfers in from Texas A&M, 6'3", 300 pounds. That's a big man in the middle. If he puts up numbers, lives up to his, 4 low 5-star pedigree that he had coming out of high school, I think Elijah Judy could do it. Again, we talk about the Big Ten being a line-based league. If Elijah Judy comes in and puts up numbers, I think he's got the size and he's got the pedigree that he's not off people's radar yet. He just has to come in and prove it. In a similar vein, MJ Sherman played for a couple of years at Georgia, has that experience, plays most likely a premium position. He'll be an off-ball linebacker. He can rush the passer, be asked to do some things in coverage. But all the reports we heard out of practice, Strick, were that this dude just looks different. Like, he's big, he's cut, he can move differently. So it probably won't be in next year's draft, but in 2 years, I think MJ Sherman can be in the conversation.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I was kind of thinking about myself. I thought MJ Sherman, when I saw him plug holes, hit gaps, run, you could tell he got that thing. And it kind of, I can say what it reminded me of at the next level, not necessarily, on the team, but what it reminded me of is Levante David, just back in the day, just kind of how he hits holes, speed, quickness, gets into the backfield quickly and can make plays, move around. I'm not going to say he's that, but it just kind of, in my eyes, what I was seeing reminded me of how his style of play was as well. Somebody that I would like to see progress a lot more is, because I know his dad and family, and he is a linebacker here with us, tremendous cornerback out of Grand Prairie, Texas, is Michael Booker III. That's who I would like to see raise up.
He had the fumble recovery for a touchdown in the spring game. They move him down a level to linebacker, let him get a little bigger, but still be fast. I like that pick, Strick.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Oh, we all would. That'd be awesome. The other guy I would say on the defensive side, he's a freshman. He just got here. But again, I think he was a little bit of an under the radar pickup. Played pretty well in the spring game, but I think he has the size. Once he puts on a little bit more weight, I think he has the movement skills, and he comes from a program in high school that's put guys at the next level pretty consistently. That's Sincere Safiola, the cornerback who came from IMG Academy, wore 44 as a cornerback in the spring game. He's tall, he's long, he can run a little bit, looked pretty sticky in the spring game. And again, we know Big Ten corners get drafted. We've seen that. Witherspoon goes 5th overall. Joey Porter was close. I mean, Iowa has it. So people have their eyes on Big Ten cornerbacks, even though it's not, the pass happiest league out there. I think the physical tools combined with a couple years of growth would be really good for Safiola.
Well, hey, I'm sorry. That is a great perspective. I like the fact that he's long. I like the fact that he's rangy. As I'm just kind of processing it in my mind, I like where you're going with that one. That's one I would consider. I would love to see a little bit more out of him. Give me a little bit more time, and I'm gonna get one day on the crossover. I'm gonna get keep that in mind because I want to get Kenny's thought on that. I would love to get Kenny's thought on that as well. Let's make a shift though. Let's shift over to the other side since we're just talking Nebraska. Men's sports right now.
Can I give you one more football player?
Oh, you've got one more? You go ahead. Give it to me.
I'm going back to the offensive side, and that's Jeff Sims. Here's the thing, Strick. I'm not going to say Jeff Sims is a first rounder. He hasn't proven it yet. Jeff Sims has already done more at the college level, though, than Anthony Richardson has. He's not, as freakish of an athlete as Anthony Richardson is, but still a really good athlete. Matt Rule, has called him a pocket passer who also runs a 4.4, not just, a running back who throws sometimes. Jeff Sims has got to improve the accuracy. He's got to improve the decision-making, got to prove he can stay healthy. But if Anthony Richardson got drafted 4th overall, if he's a success story, I can see teams lining up for Jeff Sims if he takes that step forward. I'm not saying he's going to. It's far from a sure thing. But again, if Anthony Richardson got drafted off of like a season and a half of starting experience at Florida, I'm just saying there's a chance for Jeff Sims.
So okay, I like where you're going, but let's talk about it then. Let's dig a little deeper in that real quick. With that being the case, who in that receiving room do you say has the biggest potential to become Trey Palmer-ish with big numbers? Because you're going to need somebody to put up big numbers, big stakes, and somebody you're going to be able to count on. Is it or if it's not in the wide receiver room, is it in the tight end room?
It could be. We know the tight end room has the guys with pedigree, the 5 stars in Fidone and Gilbert. They very well could be. But again, they have their own questions. Thomas Fidone's got to stay on the field. Eric Gilbert, for a different reason, has to stay on the field. They have the talent. They have the pedigree to do it, and they definitely could. But we got to see more out of them in terms of on-field production. Wide receiver is a wonderful question. Fleeks coming in, I don't think. Billy Kemp could be a reliable kind of Samori Toure-esque option, but I don't think he plays his way up that high in the conversation. If you're looking for the next Trey Palmer, Marcus Washington isn't fast enough, but I think he's wide receiver 1 pretty clearly this year. Kemp's the number 2. And then it comes down to me, Strick. Does Xavier Betts have his head screwed on straight? Does that coaching staff have a way to get to him, get through to him, keep him engaged? Because if they do, that's a guy with track speed. We saw what he did with the limited touches his first, couple years on campus. If he can stay on the field, I think he's got the speed to be able to stretch deep like Trey Palmer. I think he has good enough hands, and he looked shifty in the open field a couple times. So I think the guy with the most potential to be Trey Palmer 2.0, I would have to say Xavier Betts.
All right. Great answer. Let's shift over to the basketball side of things. Let's run down. Same question. Is there an NBA draft pick in either round? I'm going to say in either round. I'm not even going to stick to the first round. Let's just say either round. Definitely not lottery. I don't foresee anybody in the lottery on our team. Let's just be real about that. But Nebraska ball's roster, is there anybody that can fit the mold of a draft pick at all?
The one that comes to mind for me right away is one of the guys they just brought in Bryce Williams, the transfer from Charlotte. Put up some good numbers at Charlotte in Conference USA. He's 6'7". He'll play the 2 or the 3, mostly shot, upper 30s to 40% from 3. To me, Strick, if he, gets a little stronger and can prove that he can hold his own on defense, that's a guy that's worth the flyer in the modern NBA. If he knows his role, if he doesn't try to do too much, I think he could be an NBA role player. Other than that, I don't know. We'll see what Ramel Lloyd blossoms into. He's one to keep your eye on. I know Rink Mast is on campus. I think he's going to have a hard time making it in the NBA. I think that's a good European career kind of guy. So for me, I think it's Bryce Williams is the list with a check back on this guy in a couple of years on Ramel Lloyd.
So as we're talking about these two teams, Austin, in any way, do you believe that those teams need to have draft picks? We were blessed to be able to get one in the second round last year out of Bryce McGowan's. I still think he would have been a lottery pick had he stayed. But listen, he went out there. He's going to get his money. Opportunity presents itself. You go in the G League and continue to perform, and you find your way into the roster and getting some playing time and looking good at it. I think he's got a tremendous future there, especially with a lot of the uncertainty, especially with the Bridges situation. Real quick, do you think Bridges gets back into the league?
Man, Strick, I don't know. I really don't know.
That's a tough one.
My gut tells me he probably does. Whether or not he should, I don't feel comfortable judging.
Yeah, I don't want to judge the situation because all that's been handled in the court situation, it doesn't seem to have any butting of heads with any of the rules or any of the CBA. So I'm not going to judge on that. I think a team would take a chance on him similar to like I want to say like Cleveland. Maybe I don't see San Antonio touch it as long as Popovich is still there. I don't see him touching it.
To Sacramento.
I could see Sacramento. I could see a Sacramento. I don't see Minnesota because they've already got Ant there. Mm-hmm. I don't see a Utah. I could see possibly an OKC. A lot of assets. You add him, you're going to get him on the cheap, low. That's the thing that these non-big market teams are going to be able to. I can see it in Orlando too. These smaller market teams are going to be able to get a prime type of talent potentially because now he hasn't played in some time. Is he going to still be the same? In which way are you going to contractually address these situations to make sure that, you stay on point because it's investment? But you're going to get a max type of player at a super discounted rate.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be a bust risk reward that you might be able to, take on. Let him do it again and earn his stripes and go out and bet on himself. That's something to look at as well. But for us, do we need to have draft picks in order to have and raise the brand up and have success, whether it be with our local recruits or nationally?
I'm going to go and say no, Strick, which probably sounds crazy. To compete at the NCAA tournament level, absolutely you do. But for Nebraska to take that next step, even just being a consistent NIT team, you don't necessarily need NBA draft picks. I see that news as well. We'll get to that in a sec. Here's the reason, Strick. Think about the last, probably most recent best Nebraska team, and the team that went 13-5 in the Big Ten made it to the NIT. There's only one guy that went to the NBA on that roster, and that was Isaiah Roby. Isaiah Roby wasn't the best player on that team. That was James Palmer Jr. Isaiah Roby was maybe the most important, maybe the second most important guy on that team, but James Palmer Jr. was the best player, didn't get drafted. Glenn Watson had been around for a while, didn't get drafted. The other names on that team, Isaac Copeland was a guy that was high up in the rankings in high school, went to Georgetown, transfers into Nebraska, plays his role. Good, old, experienced college player. Anton Gill, also in the RSCI Top 100, transfers in, plays his role. Evan Taylor was a guy that developed a little bit behind the scenes, found a way to play his role. Thomas Allen had a job to do. Nana Kenton had a couple games for that team. So
Teddy Buckets. I'm just playing.
That was later. That was later. Hold off on that one now. So I guess when it comes to, elevating the program to at least that consistent NIT level, no, you don't necessarily need NBA draft picks. You need development. You need guys to stick around for 3 to 4 years. And then once they've done that, you have a system in place. They grow together. They develop together. And that, to me, Strick, gets you kind of in that range. Let's just look at this last season in the Big Ten. Penn State goes 10-10. I don't know if there's an NBA player on that roster, but they make the NCAA tournament. They beat Texas A&M. Rutgers was on the bubble, faded late. Not an NBA player on that team, but tough. They have a system, made a little bit of noise. Even Wisconsin made the NIT Final Four without an NBA player on their roster. So, yes, having draft picks would be nice. You don't turn down talents like Delano Banton or Bryce McGowan's, but I don't think it's a requisite for Nebraska to take that next step.
Great answer. Great answer. I think we'll pause right there. Now, unless you want to get into the news or get into that with Brian Munson. You want to do that with Brian Munson? I think that's a better take on it. But we're going to take a quick, short break and get away and get back over on the other side of it. We're going to have Brian Munson joining us from On 3. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this big news. It hit. Thanks for sharing that, Q. Kelly, 25. The big news has hit. Aaron Ellis has joined us as a Husker Go Big Red player for the men's basketball team. So we'll talk about it more on the other side. We'll be right back on the block right after this.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Roof Credit.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies. It will still be a little windy, though, today, as north winds could gust over 30. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of around 63. Clear skies tonight, a little cool with a low down to around 35. Not quite as windy tomorrow, sunny and a little warmer. We should see a high of around 66. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Running back A.J. Allen has entered the transfer portal. To me, I think this one right here hurts more than Casey because I think this young man had a good future ahead of him.
I don't think he's on the level of Casey because you've got other running backs in the state that's on the same level as he is.
You would have said at the end of last year, who are the two, foundation pieces that you are excited about moving forward? On offense, I would have said A.J. Allen. On defense, I would have said Ernest Hausman. You lost both of them.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to On the Block. He's Strick here with Austin Orman, munching on a few popcorn. Yeah, they're really good. Trying to get this weight right, man. I've been working out while I was here. I'm gonna come back nice and stocked and strong, my guy. I might have to take you to the hoop one time, show you how to shoot that thing.
Strick, I don't care what shape you're in. You're taking me to the hoop. You're a big body. Just regardless, you're taking me to the hoop. I'm not sitting in taking a charge. My best hope is to kind of pull the chair out from underneath you. But I respect you. I appreciate you, and I'm not going to do that to you.
I appreciate you as my friend. And we also appreciate Brian Munson, who's going to be joining us on the Honda Lincoln Hotline, coming in, give us some of the details and breakdowns on what's going on with Husker sports, especially with the transfer of A.J. Allen, how that affects the team. Does it affect the team? What's his thoughts on those things, as well as the new addition. And I'm not talking about the singing group, but the new addition to the Husker basketball team, and Aaron. So listen, Brian, thanks for joining us today, my friend.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing wonderful.
Great.
A lot of stuff going on. Obviously, you know, we've got it's hot topics out there. Baseball is just getting in the swing of things. No pun intended. You know, they've got USFL and XFL popping off, all that stuff, and you got UFC. I mean, there's just all types of stuff that's going on. Big weekend coming up for UFC too. Get your eyes ready for that with Henry Cejudo coming back. But we're not going to talk about that right now, Brian. I want to talk about AJ Allen, man. What's your thoughts about that? What's the impact on that in that running back room? And why do you think the trigger was pulled? And what's some of the feedback you're hearing?
Yeah, pretty crushing loss. I would put AJ ahead of Casey Thompson, but still behind Hausman in terms of, like, I would say the impact to the team, the impact to the squad. I thought Hausman was a shooting star. I think what we've seen from AJ Allen was promising. I thought Casey Thompson had to do what he had to do last year to get Nebraska to be successful enough to win 4 games. I mean, he basically went out. He and Trey Palmer basically went out and won, you know, against Iowa in the last game of the season. But, you know, you bring in Sims and you've got a new offense now that's going to kind of feature that X factor with running, you know, and while I think Casey's got some athleticism, I'm just not sure that that's his bag. And I totally understand it. I totally get it. Like, go do you. Go find a place to go be successful, because here's the underlying facts on Casey. He's not had a great deal of success. It's followed him around from place to place. He didn't come to Nebraska and all of a sudden be successful. He wasn't really successful in Austin. He played a pretty good half of football or more against Texas or against Oklahoma, excuse me. But it really didn't come out to like a whole bunch of wins. He didn't really win a whole lot in high school. So he's got a Will Levis kind of thing hanging around him right now. He has to go show pro scouts that he elevates the people around him and that he is capable of going out there and winning a football game. So there are definitely some things there. But now, you know, you take a look at AJ, and AJ's, you know, a top 3 back. I would put him probably at number 2, even though everybody's pretty excited about Gabe and, you know, the excitement that's kind of been there from Rule and by staff about, you know, how well he is running, the mile per hour that he's hitting. I would point out that, you know, there's 3 guys on the team that had a great spring. They all lived together. You got Harbord, you got Fedoni, and you had Urban. They all lived together. And that is not a coincidence. Those guys went out there and they had a lot to prove. They benefited for it. They stuck together. They put their best foot forward. But with AJ, what you saw, I think, from last season is when you brought him into the game, he could do different things than Grant. Grant had a kind of an ability kind of wearing some people down and he would kind of bust one. When you saw AJ come in, something big was going to happen typically. And it was just one of those things about having kind of that natural ability just to kind of uncork some things and really get that defense that's kind of sitting there getting grinded down a little bit by seeing somebody that's not as kind of elusive and have basically that kind of quickness to kind of, you know, start and stop. You know, that's a big thing. And AJ has that. And that's why, you know, Applewhite brings him in there and he does a great thing. And just kind of quickly, I had Hausman on top. I thought he was really showed the best out of all the freshmen. Big tough loss, but I think Allen moved along because, well, if you look back now, guys, at where we were at, you know, last season, there's not a lot there anymore that kind of connects Nebraska with Mickey Joseph, with Applewhite, sadly with Bill Bush. That kind of Nebraska history for last season has been kind of erased, for lack of better terms, because, you know, Palmer's gone, Thompson's gone, Allen is gone. You know, you lost the coldest. There's just been a complete and total kind of just disconnection now with that part of that team that kind of started from last January. So I think it was just one of those natural things. I felt like he was really connected to Applewhite. It took a little bit of a leap of faith, I think, for him to kind of go north and get away from his TCU commitment. And it's going to sting Nebraska a little bit. I have no doubt about that.
Brian, we know you're a pro because you took that question out of my notes. I was going to ask if you thought A.J. Allen or Casey Thompson was a bigger loss. So now I got to move on. And just looking at the transfer portal too, were the losses that Nebraska had, from the roster, were they expected, or were there any surprises of guys that transferred out to you?
Surprises. Well, Logan Smothers is staying in now. I don't know if you guys saw that news. Kind of popped up on Twitter here recently where, he was going to test the waters, and now he's going to graduate in a month, and he's going to be a grad transfer with 2 years of eligibility remaining. So that's a pretty nice, marketable kind of platform to have for him. I don't think it's going to, necessarily lead to something like what Casey had, like with Auburn, calling and going to take an official visit, there. But I think that's going to certainly help him in his marketability. It's really going to come down to, how far along are you, when it comes to the tear or the shoulder problem that you had, and when you're going to be ready to start throwing again, how quickly are you going to be ready to start turning the page on getting ready for the fall, learning a new offense, doing all that good stuff. It's going to be on him this summer to kind of get himself right, to get things going this fall. So I think the Logan, I think it made sense. I think Casey made sense. I think people dreaded that AJ would kind of find himself, to the door. Was there one that really surprised me?
What about like Stephon Wynn?
Yeah, I thought that, from all the indications that I had heard from, like Sip and Sean and the rest of the guys that go to practice and the coaching comments, he had a great spring. He had a good spring. I don't think he came in shape a year ago. I think that hurt him. And then I think that he put his, again, best foot forward, kind of listened to what was happening there with the program, tried to get with it a little bit, went out there, showed out, had a good spring, put himself in a position to be a factor on that 2D. And that probably is the one surprising one out of them all that Wynn decided to go ahead and leave. And that really does still hurt. Because that's still a spot. I think between offensive line and defensive line, I think Nebraska already had their noses in the portal looking for some help. That one definitely, is going to keep you in there looking for some help on the defensive side of the football.
Real quick, I want to touch a little bit longer on this some other situation. One, and it's a two-parter. One, where would you think if he decided to transfer? That's good. He's going to go ahead and complete his years and become a graduate. But what would be a good type of university for him and his style of football? Brian, I'm trying to be slow about it so it'll allow your mind to process. If he decides to remain at the quarterback position, or do you think he should switch positions?
Well, that's a great question. I think the last one is the one that he has to think about in terms of his longevity. And he has to think about it in terms of where he is getting an option to play, may kind of dictate that too, because I think it's really tough as a dual threat guy, almost, more of a run first, throw second kind of guy to really kind of stay healthy, consistently in the Big Ten and not be dinged up. I think it's one of those things. It's like, you're never going to be 100% in the Big Ten. You're going to have to go ahead and grin and bear. And it's one of those things, but when labrum tears happen, rotator cuff tears happen, really harder to deal with as a quarterback, rather than if you were doing something between like some formations, getting a chance to do some quarterback stuff, maybe some trick play things, but really finding a spot more in the offense as kind of that slash guy where you could do some running back, do some wide receiver, and roll back to wildcat. I think that would probably be more of a fit for him. And I'm not sure where that really leads him to, I kind of felt like a UAB or a Stetson or something like that would be probably a really nice fit. and I'm not sure really from an offensive front, like if that's really a good fit more than it is just geographically better off for him to kind of move closer to home. I honestly, with him going to grad school, being where he's at academically, I think I would put my sights on trying to find the best graduate program that I can possibly find and get the best education and get that MBA or whatever it is. And if a pro career happens, then so be it. But I think right now, I'm thinking with my more of my professional career based on my degrees.
We're talking with Brian Munson of Husker Online here on the block. Sticking at the quarterback position, Brian, but looking from the current team to some irons in the fire for Nebraska. They just sent out an offer to a guy that's going to be on the all-name team someday, wherever he ends up in Furian in Ferreira. What can you tell us about him and some of the other guys that Nebraska's targeting in high school recruiting at quarterback?
Yeah, Furian is an interesting cat. I mean, he's a 2027 guy, and yeah, I said that correctly. So if you do the math, that means he's an eighth grader. It was pretty wild because as I'm calling him, I'm thinking about if my son was as talented as this kid, and my son's in 7th grade, could I trust him to talk to a person like myself to kind of shamelessly promote himself? And I just didn't know if I had that confidence, but Furian is a very mature individual. I mean, he is 6'3", 187 pounds without his shoes on. He is transferring from Las Vegas going to Modern Day. So that is some indication about like where you can kind of see this whole kind of thing going right now with him. Dad actually is really good friends with Donovan Raiola, really good friends with Dominic. Obviously, Furian knows both of Dominic's sons. So it's a tight-knit family there. I think that Nebraska is going to have a really nice shot, but this is going to be one of those processes again. So it's like buckle up, but I'm giving you guys like the 3-year advance notice of like where this thing is going to take Nebraska, because it's going to be all over the place and Nebraska is going to have a shot, provided that a lot of things don't happen, and changes don't happen with the coaching staff, obviously, because there's some great connections there. And I think Nebraska's really trying to develop things into Modern Day, and they were out there today, for the evaluation period. So fun kid to talk to, just gonna be really excited to kind of talk to him over the next 3 years.
What are you hearing about Nebraska in Modern Day? How are the Huskers doing? I know EJ Barthel's down there right now. Where does Nebraska stand with those 3 guys in the next couple classes?
Yeah, I met Brandon Baker and I met Aiden. I didn't meet Frazier because Frazier didn't come back for the spring game. Shockingly, and I know that this is tough for Nebraska fans to process, but Nebraska's in a really, really, really good spot with Brandon Baker. I believe he is looking at this with his eyes wide open. He wants to make the best possible decision for himself. He's playing chess here. He's not playing checkers. He's not really worried about the NIL playing a huge role in this for him immediately. He knows that when he makes this decision, it needs to be to put him in a position to get developed, to get ready to play at the pro level. And he's, kind of found this great connection with Matt Rule and his staff. And obviously Matt Rule has got those connections back to the pro level. I think it's one of those things now. It's just I think there's gonna have to be, and this is just me kind of speculating there a little bit. I think Nebraska's going to have to kind of come out there and show out a little bit this fall, because he's not a guy that's going to make a decision anytime soon. It's going to be in December, and I think that he's going to want to get out to Nebraska, see the facilities, once they've completed. But I think he wants to see how things kind of begin, with the Matt Rule era at Nebraska. And I think he wants to see if, hey, how do they do going out to Baylor, and how do they do opening up in the Big Ten play on that Thursday night? There's some real tough contests like right out the gate. There's some huge measuring sticks to kind of figure out where Nebraska's at, and then you can kind of take that and kind of move it forward. and see how good Nebraska is progressing and how much better they are becoming as the season kind of goes along. And I think a lot of these things, like with Thompson and Hausman and Allen, obviously today, I think people have to kind of understand here too. It's like Matt Rule is, number one, he can't keep guys in Lincoln that don't want to be there. But number two, I think people have to understand that he's trying to get down to, who the best fit is for his team and his roster and kind of keep the things going. And there's a real difficulty to kind of always to do that with guys that were recruited underneath the previous staff. So I think that there's always a kind of lack of connection. I think some recruits are going to have to kind of pay attention to that they weren't able to retain some of these guys just because they didn't have anything kind of keeping them there from a roster perspective.
The two other guys then at Modern Day to finish up here, Brian, Nathaniel Frazier and Aiden Breland. Where are the Huskers at with those guys?
So Frazier is going to get back. I think track was kind of getting in the way for him, when it comes to the spring game. That's now the number one rated running back in the nation out there to go along with the number one rated offensive tackle. And I would challenge everyone to go ahead and go into huddle, look up Aiden Breland's film, and then go out there and find, another defensive tackle or defensive lineman that you feel like is better than that guy, because that dude is special. Really got a kick out of listening to him. I think Nebraska has a chance to potentially host all three for an official visit, and that would be huge. I think I feel really good about two, but I think the potential is there for three.
It's Brian Munson of Husker Online with us here, as he is every Monday at 3:25, 3:30 or so. Brian, appreciate all the insight as always. Have a great rest of your week, man.
Yep. Be good, guys. We'll see you.
Strick, he always tells us to be good, and we can never promise that. Plain and simple.
I mean, that's Brian Munson. That's why we got him on the show. I mean, he's really able to dig into it and get into depth as far as what he's seeing, what he's hearing. He's got his ear and his pulse, the pulse of the program as well. So you got to love it. We're grateful that we're able to have him join us on the block.
Absolutely. Also grateful to have Jay Foreman. He's in the building for the crossover. We'll see who's with him. We'll get to the old school crew next.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where your family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
The best time to have your air conditioner serviced is before you really need it. Call Bryant now and schedule your spring air conditioning service check. No matter what brand equipment you have, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean, inspect, and test to make sure it's ready to cool efficiently when hot weather hits. You'll stay cool and comfortable when you need it most. Just call 467-1111 to schedule your air conditioning check. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and I'm protecting it now by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Get up to date while it's still free and stay protected. Learn more at healthylincoln.org.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny skies. It will still be a little windy, though, today, as north winds could gust over 30. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of around 63. Clear skies tonight, a little cool with a low down to around 35. Not quite as windy tomorrow, sunny and a little warmer. We should see a high of around 66. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 theticketfm.com.
Back with you one final time here on the block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland have been with you here for the last couple hours, joined by the OG old school crew. DP and J in the building. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Look at him. Look at him, Strick. Where you at, player? I seen you post a little swimming pool. You over there. Lottie Dottie, we like the party.
Headed to the airport.
Where you at,
Headed to the airport. Dallas.
I feel you, man.
Headed to the airport. My flight leaves this evening. Had to knock out the show and be on the plane and be sleeping in the studio tomorrow.
I got you.
Hey, so it's a lot of stuff happening. I know y'all gonna get into it. We ain't gonna jump into it here, but definitely transfer portal still active out there. Looks like there was a transfer that came in. I want to talk more about the basketball side of things. And I want to throw it to DP first. DP, Aaron Ellis, the transfer out of Iowa. What's your initial thoughts on that transfer? Is he the actual guy, the lead point guard that they say that they're looking for, that they need?
I don't know what they think they're getting, and I don't know why they're getting it other than he's a Big Ten point guard, a starting point guard in the Big Ten Conference. And Nebraska cannot afford to allow any of that talent to pass. If you can play competent basketball in the Big Ten Conference and then on a winning team, then you have value to Fred Hoiberg and the Huskers. Now, if you're asking me, do I project him at 6'3",
190,
33% from three, 6 points a game, 2 boards, 2 assists, should project in his next year at about 9 and 3. Well, those are decent numbers in the Big Ten Conference. He's a better than average defender. But what I think Husker fans might say is, well, we might need a little juice. We might need a little moxie, a little savvy, a little old school game and bucket ability. Nebraska's had its share of dudes who did the basic stuff right. It would be nice to have a finisher, scorer, somebody who can get a bucket at prime time in stressful moments. It would be nice to have like we saw what Griesel did in critical moments for Nebraska offensively when they started to grind. Ellis is not the guy who's going to get them out of that grind. They may have somebody who can get them out of that grind. The question becomes, who do you want on the floor for what you want them on the floor for?
Right.
So, good addition. Not ready to call it a great addition. It's a good addition. Good addition. He's a Big Ten point guard.
Yeah. Do we need a station ID? Did we miss it or did we hit?
Nope, I got in the end of the last break. Keep it rolling.
Sweet. Okay, Jay. So similar question. I mean, I'm like, to me, it feels as if you had that type of, based on what I've seen of him, you had that type of guard already in Q McPherson, just untested, coming off of injury. Sure. But they have that same kind of style. So you just basically let him already go to kind of bring over something with the similar style, because that's how you kind of seem like if you felt about that young man. And you didn't land who you wanted. You didn't get that. I just don't think it's a splash for me.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, I think you got to also go back to last year, right? None of the guys that they brought in were splashers either, but it seemed to work out pretty good. I think they kind of see kind of a program or type of identity of a player that they like. And if he can guard close to what Vanderbilt did, I think it'd be good. I think that what Fred Hoiberg, and this is on the surface, guy has Big Ten experience. He scored 6 points. So you try to say, okay, in our type of system, you could pump that up to maybe if he, gets into their development and all that, it could be 10, right? You'd like to say his assist would go up, say 1, right? Because, he's used to playing in a high octane type of offense. Iowa, I think, might have been the leading offense in the nation, certainly in the Big Ten. So he knows how to get it to the guys in the right spots in the surface, right? What you can't do when you're going into another season like this is not go with the known. He's more known, doesn't have to be sexy, but he fits a role and can play that role. Now, when you talk about the Griesel role, when you talk about bringing Gary back, right, who's going to probably have to have more offensive, output. That's where Romel Lloyd comes in. You ask why when McPherson left, Romel Lloyd. People, I'm telling you, people did not talk enough about him. Okay, I'm assuming, as of all what I know now, he has stayed, right? So when you talk about Romel Lloyd, when you talk about a kid that's legitimately 6'6", not this fake 6'6", where he's 6'4", legit 6'6", a year in the weight program, I'm assuming he's worked on his shot, has already shown as an 18-year-old kid coming in here. Now, this is all just the preseason and the funny season. The ability to get downhill and make plays that was even more, even like too skilled for even for my man Oleg and some of those guys. So he's already at the level. So he I think this is just me in my opinion, in the future with Lawrence and Gary, right? So when you think Lawrence is what 6'3", right? Strick about that, right? 6'3", 6'6",
Yep,
6'3" with this young man, 6 bulldog with Gary. Then you got the man coming in from Charlotte. Then you got kind of the banger that came in from Bradley. Then you got Blaze. Then you got Goggles. Now you're starting to see some kind of, we can be Big Ten tough. We can stretch and move. It's going to come down for shooting for Lloyd and him. Can you expand the court? Because I think you got enough slashers and guys that can do stuff like that. So I like it, considering that we in Hunter Salas and a couple other guys. That was, I don't think it had anything to do with Nebraska. I think that was just purely his decision. I would like to down and ask, could ask some questions, because with the Wake Forest that by name isn't much different than Nebraska, right? Duncan and Chris Paul and all that, those days are long gone. You know, and you could be, when you're 6th, 7th, 8th in the ACC, you know, when you think about it, like, you know, they're not challenging Duke. Clemson's on the upswing. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina is going to be back. Duke is North Carolina. You haven't even thought about Wake Forest yet. Pittsburgh. You know, when you start to think about that versus where you could be with Nebraska in terms of effects.
And Virginia Tech.
If you're Hunt Palace, right?
Virginia Tech won the league 2 years ago.
Virginia Tech, right?
Yeah, just 2 years ago.
Right. So we're just talking about 6, 7, 8, right? But when you're talking about homegrown, being able to come here and really expand your game in front of it, you know, you had the kind of template already right there with Sam Griesel. It did hurt, but I think this is a good pickup. Guy that knows how to play in the Big Ten, though, also, right? So you expect him to come in and be able to kind of handle the physicality, the competitive level. He knows the arenas. That, you know, that's you can't you can't dummy that down, and it's not too far for him, and you know, I'm sure they're happy.
He strikes me as a guy that might not raise the ceiling too high, but definitely raises the floor.
I'd say Jay just made a point, and then I need to ask Strick a thing. But Jay just made the point that is kind of is what rattles my cage, is that well, I have to be careful not to devalue him, because the other recent option was Hunter Salas.
Yeah, but I would ask this though. Okay,
I don't want to say this.
He averaged 6 at Iowa.
Yeah.
Okay. Hunter Salas averaged 5 at Gonzaga. Like, why is it that much different?
Because it's Iowa and Gonzaga. Like, Gonzaga's playing in meaningful games and meaningful moments with some flow and purpose, with a high trajectory to going at the next level.
Right, but
we don't give that to Iowa as freely as we give it to the Zag.
And then I would ask this as a basketball or smart, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to. Okay. So I'm asking you this. I would ask you as a rebuttal, DP. When you look at Gonzaga, they probably play 1 or 2 non-conference games. They, you know, because they always have been playing Michigan State on the boat, right? Okay. Then they'll play in the, you know, in the tournament, you know, in those tournaments in Hawaii or whatever. So let's just say 3 non-conference games. Their league play is below par. It's St. Mary's or bust. So they got to get up for 2 games a year, right?
Well, no, that's changed because that's changed.
Hold on, just listen. So 2 games a year, 5. They smoke the league every single year. Only time they lose to somebody is if they got like sickness going through, or they had like a house party they went to up there in Eastern Orange, but at John Stockton's house.
Yeah.
Conversely, at Iowa, every time you get off the bus, just take the regular season, you got to be ready to play, and it is meaningful games, because if you go through 2 weeks of a slippage in the 10 or 5 long, so I would ask you, the pressure to perform week in and week out versus getting up for star games like you put on your roster, I would probably say Iowa, because you're going through more of a league play where you can't back down.
Yeah, we
The transfer portal has got to be number one.
Yeah.
The draft.
Yeah.
It's got to be number two.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it about the leagues. You know, I like Gonzaga, but
Yeah.
I do think there's a reason why they can't never get over the hump.
I'm rolling with the Hall of Famer. Let's get it.
With fun for the last 2 hours. He's Eric Strickland. Strick, safe travels back tonight. Can't wait to have you
I
back
can't
in the
wait to see
studio,
you
my
tomorrow,
guy.
dog. You know what I'm saying? Miss you up here.
Mañana.
Suntan
Suntan Superman.
All right, look at it. Lit. I see you down there. Man. Look at it. You know what I mean? Mañana. I love y'all.
Strick,
Mañana I see you in studio.
Rick, I'm Austin, DP, and Jay in Old School. Come up next year on 93.7 Take. Don't go anywhere. Back in just a sec.
Finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, TV, and all of your collector's items.